with our favorite Flower Diva ever, Carrie. Welcome to the set.
Thank you.
Thank you for always being here. Tonight we're going to do something that's amazing because it's going to be every day. Sometimes we just want to update, whether it's our foyer, our den, outside sitting on the veranda, enjoying a little of the fresh air. So you're going to show us how to make a little every day.
Yeah, we need a little whimsy.
A little whimsy. I like that. Right. I like that. And I love your
yeah, it's my wire.
Yeah, I like it.
This is aluminum wire. You can find it at most craft stores or whatnot. Or if you have trouble, come visit. We can get you some.
We can get you some. We can hook you up.
Yeah, that's right. I kind of like using it. It's called an amateur, or an armature, I should say.
Armature?
Excuse me. It's like a very French European kind of thing.
Is it like a slinky?
It's almost like a slinky. It's because it's wound up. Yeah. But what we're going to do, instead of using greenery and stuff like that sometimes I think takes away from the arrangement or the flowers, we're just going to stick it on into this vase. And it's a lot easier with a vase that's not very, very, very wide. All right. So there's no rhyme, there's no reason, you're just gonna have fun with it. You can pull it apart and stick it through. So we're almost gonna kind of create a ball kind of shape on top that we're going to use to hold our flowers.
So I know what you're thinking out there. That's easy for her to say because she's a professional. But you really did just kind of wind it around. It looked pretty simple.
Yeah. And this is the same aluminum wire, it's flat.
And it's thicker?
Yes.
Way thicker.
So, and again, I'm just going to kind of work it into here, and I'm going to have some fun with it. I'm going to pull it around because, it's just like a slinky, just like you said.
Yeah.
And so, just weave it in and out and have some fun with it.
Way prettier colors than any slinky I ever played with.
So, just kind of like that.
Wow.
All right. Ta-da!
That's like so cool. That's like 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have just simple Gerber daisies. And I feel when you're doing a very modern, very simple arrangement, sometimes the very simplest of flowers are the best to use. So we're going to start off. And of course, we need bright colors. You can't do it with any yawn type flowers. So.
Not white, boring.
No.
Yeah.
And you're just going to really just slip them in. Just like this.
You always angle every other kind of.
Yeah. And you kind of let the wire work for you.
Right.
Then that way, here, I'm going to pass some on. And we're going to have some fun.
All right.
So there you go.
Okay.
And you can kind of come this way too because you got enough wire that's going to hold it.
So is it going to be something that you see from one side or is it going to be all the way around?
Well, we can do it from all the way around.
All the way around. Okay.
We'll put some over here.
Okay.
And then we have, this is another type of Gerber daisy. It's called a gerando. And a lot of people think it almost looks like a zinnia or a dahlia or whatnot, but it's still in the Gerber daisy family.
But much smaller.
Yeah. And it's really kind of
It's kind of unique and different. It kind of breaks out the look.
Yep.
I'm going to put it hanging this way.
Yep.
So you can pull them up a little, hang them higher. I like that.
Yep. And you know what? You don't have to use all one color of wire. You could interchange the wire and whatever else you want.
Wow.
So, and like that.
Voila.
It was just that easy.
It was that easy.
Yep.
And it's so unique and different. And I love, like, notice at the bottom where you did the wire, you strung it down there. You have simple water in there, nothing special, just plain water. And you did that within a matter of really 2 minutes to make the little, the wire going around. You did 2 different sizes of it.
Yep.
And then the Gerber daisies, and then our special little flower, and there it is. Voila, an everyday arrangement. This is beautiful. It's it's a statement piece.
Yes, exactly.
And it's something that you like to change things up, and you always think about changing your pillows or changing your accessories. Flowers are an accessory.
Yes.
Right. And this is something that is simple and easy to change and give your foyer or your kitchen or your den a whole new look.
That's right. That's right.
But thanks to our fabulous Flower Diva, she always comes with these great ideas, and you have been doing our show for 10 years. So it's amazing that after 10 years, she still comes up with the most fabulous ideas. I don't know how you keep thinking of them, but we get more emails about you, and they love your ideas. And if you didn't catch this, you can go to our podcast at DebraKennedyShow.com. Click on podcasts and do Carrie's name, the Flower Diva, and you can see all of her different segments that she shows you how to do a multitude of different things over the last 10 years. But anyway, this one's beautiful, and thank you for stopping by the set. Okay. Thanks, Carrie. Make your house beautiful with a little change in a matter of minutes. experience night sweats, irritability, and the inability to sleep, well, I have the doctor on our set tonight that can help you. Welcome, Dr. John Murphy, to our set. We're so excited to have you with us tonight.
Well, thank you, Debra.
Well, you know so much about hormones, and hormones is the big part of why we have some of the issues we do as women as we age. Is that correct?
It's very true.
So what is it? Do we lose certain things? Do we, why do we lose certain hormones as we get older, and why do we change?
Good question. As we age, obviously, we lose the cells that manufacture and synthesize hormones.
Right.
And I might add, it's also very symptomatic in males as well. And there are multiple symptoms: loss of libido, memory loss, you lose bone mass, your pain perception becomes increased. And one of the interesting things for older folks is loss of memory, which is quite disconcerting. Yep.
So it's a combination of all these things. So
Correct.
In your practice, you probably get, specific people come in for specific reasons.
Right.
Perhaps at a certain age, a woman in her 50s,
Right.
she's experiencing, the beginning stages of menopause. And some women in their 50s are, in the middle or the end.
Right.
What type of hormones can help certain people? Are there different types, or are they all hormones that help on different levels?
Right. Good question. There is testosterone, which was previously thought as a complete male hormone, which is nothing further from the truth. Testosterone is a vital hormone for ladies.
Right.
There is also natural estrogen, and there is also something called progesterone.
Right.
And all have different qualities. And testosterone provides libido. It provides other metabolic functions that help us. Estrogen provides bone structure and integrity. And progesterone is an excellent hormone that lets you sleep. It helps insomnia, and it helps prevent night sweats, as well as providing more bone mass.
Well, as I opened up, I talked about some of the
Right.
symptoms that a lot of women have.
Right.
But the best way to find out what you're missing is actually to have blood tests drawn, correct?
That is true, and you have to have a careful history and physical to determine what symptoms and what proportional hormone dysfunction is occurring. And we have the experience. We can tell on our histories and physicals as well.
Right. And I'm sorry to leave our male viewers out. Like you said, it is a big thing with
Right.
males too.
Oh, yes.
Of course, women always think of themselves that we're the only ones that are experiencing all these
Right.
hormone issues.
Right.
But let's talk a little bit about how to go about finding the correct balance of what you need. So I come in and I get a blood test, and I am missing all the different levels of 5 things that you've mentioned.
Right.
What is my track record? How do I feel better? How do I get back to feeling great and having energy and sleeping again?
Right. Remember, there's metabolic consequences too, and I will have to say to that, everyone is as different as night and day.
Right.
And we have great experience in determining your symptomology. We don't simply go by lab values. We go by our experience, by your symptoms, and somewhat by the lab values. But it's
Right.
all individualized.
Right. So that means
Right.
not one person is
No.
like the next
No,
person.
everybody-
So it's individualized.
It's very individualized.
Okay. And earlier you talked about osteoporosis, and there's like a
Correct.
something that you wanted to share about osteoporosis. in
Yes,
women.
it's a very, very bad problem as the population ages. In fact, the new orthopedic data and endocrine data has shown that hip fractures, which are a major source of mortality and morbidity, can be prevented with estrogen. It reduces the amount of hip fractures by 3 times. Now, interestingly enough, if you add testosterone to that estrogen, you have a 6 times less chance of a hip fracture and a total hip replacement. Now, this is a bloody operation. I was an anesthesiologist, and this is not a benign operation. There's a lot of blood loss. There's a lot of disability. And in fact, 50% of folks that have had a total hip replacement die within a year.
Right.
So this is extremely important to prevent the osteoporosis. Another fact is it can cause vertebral compression fractures where your spine actually shortens, creating major back pain, which may result in severe surgery and also major disability as well. So it can prevent those spinal compression fractures as well.
Wow. So when we come back, we're going to take a short break, but
Right.
we're going to talk about the benefits
Right.
of hormones.
Sure.
And also it's preventative, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going
Yes.
to talk about that when we come back with Dr. John Murphy.
To view this entire episode or to view other past episodes, please visit our podcast site at DebraKennedyShow.com.
Tonight we're back with Dr. John Murphy. You have such a vast knowledge of so many things, and we're so excited that you're here tonight to talk about hormones. And earlier you mentioned that women kind of get the short end of the deal.
That's very true, Deborah. The menopause is associated with a very rapid decline in hormones, resulting in terrible symptoms,
right,
and metabolically as well as behaviorally. Now, also, the men get a little bit luckier because we do develop hormonal deficiencies, but if you will, we slide down the slope. We don't fall off the cliff.
Right.
So it's a little more acute for the ladies than it is for the men. But nevertheless, important for both.
Right. I can remember at, I think, around 42.
Right.
Something just hits you and you feel like the whole world is caving in on you. And I'd never had that feeling before.
Right.
And, I knew at that point that's when I was having some hormone changes. But, as a woman, not experiencing any of that because, it's all new and foreign to us.
Right.
And there wasn't all of these talks and all of these different opportunities at that age as there are now. So women now are so lucky to have, all the options that we have.
Right. And I might add also, sorry to backtrack, but hysterectomies are surgical menopause. So I just wanted to throw that in.
That throws you into.
Yeah, it's not just a standard, 45 to 50 age, you don't want to categorize it as that. But ladies that have hysterectomies or 20s, 30s, and 40s do have, that is surgical menopause that has the same implications as the natural menopause.
Well, the reason I wanted to bring you on our set tonight is you're so-called genius in this field, and I think you do so much research, and I think it's so important to you to get the right mix for the individual to help them.
Right.
Because, you have so much knowledge. Let's tell our audience a little bit about it. You were at Duke, you're an anesthesiologist, you were head of, let's just brag a little bit.
Well, I've had kind of a varied career. I'm an ex-military Vietnam vet and went back to school, undergrad, and went to UNC Charlotte of all places and had a very good time there. I was fortunate to graduate top of the class and got accepted to Wake Forest Medical School. And my initial interest was internal medicine, so I finished a residency in internal medicine. And I went out and practiced for a number of years in family and internal medicine in Mocksville, North Carolina. Yeah. And actually a little bit of part-time work at the outpatient VA clinic in Winston-Salem.
Right.
And I had a very, very good friend who was a critical care anesthesiologist who got me very interested in the operating room. So I followed him, shadowed him around at Forsyth Hospital in Winston-Salem. And sure enough, I went back and finished an anesthesia residency. I did 2 years at the University of Connecticut, and I did a cardiac fellowship at Duke. And practiced anesthesia for 20 years. And loved it. I had a great tenure and loved all the patients. And I really kind of aged out of taking call. I'm not the youngest fella anymore. So I decided to practice internal medicine again. And I just happened to gain a little bit of knowledge of the hormone endocrinology and have definitely pursued it. It's a fascinating, complex field that is absolutely emerging, and it's very complex, and it's going to become mainstream medicine.
And let's be honest, I know your first initial conversation with me was this sweet, amazing wife of yours that was just normal and beautiful, all of a sudden changed, and you thought, there's something to this, and that really struck your interest.
Well, yes, that is true, and I've seen firsthand the behavioral and metabolic consequences of hormonal deficiencies.
Right.
And not only close friends, let's say, but also colleagues and patients as well.
Right. So it is a big, big thing in the world today.
Oh,
and the best thing is I'm so glad that you stopped on the set because really there's women out there that think it's only them. It's not only them. It's something that our bodies go through whether you're a female or male, and there is help. It's just finding the balance of what works for you.
And it must be done properly, and it's a medical practice.
Right.
Yes.
Well, we know the best. So thank you for stopping by the set. We're going to have you as our regular Dr. Oz. We're going to call you Dr. John. So we're going to be hearing from you. And audience, if there's any questions that you would like Dr. John to answer, please send us your emails. You can also check out this show tonight on our podcast at DebraKennedyShow.com and Google Dr. John Murphy and the question section, and his segments will come up. So we thank you for tuning in, and we hope that we've answered your questions, and we hope that we're going to make you feel like a better person with the right balance of hormones. Weddings are a billion-dollar industry. But without the perfect details, none of it matters. But I have the expert here tonight on the set to share how the details can make it special. Chelish Moore, welcome to our set.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, and you are considered, I'll say, a genius in the field because you know how to turn the vision into the package.
To reality.
Right.
Make it happen. Yeah.
So how do you do that? A bride walks in and she kind of, because they all think they know what they want, and but they don't know how it's all going to turn out together.
Exactly. We ask them to bring pictures in and give us a good idea, so we can get a feel of what they're looking for and how it's supposed to flow. And then we actually take it from paper and make it happen. And being able to offer so many different kinds of containers and props and everything from A to Z, it brings it all together. And most florists don't have those things, so it's a really good niche to have.
Right, all under one umbrella.
It is. And women are very visual.
Right.
So when they can come in and they can see, okay, here's what my centerpiece looks like, here's the container that's going to be in, and I don't have to go find it, hunt it down, or rent it from a rental company from 8 different vendors.
Right.
I can actually get it in one place, and we can all put it all on a table together for them to see. It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful.
Now let's talk about when you said about props. Your props, my daughter was married in June, Alexis, and you were a big part of that. The outdoor sitting area with the white vintage furniture was absolutely breathtaking. So how do you envision that? I mean, I remember you were so excited and you said, I've got a few pieces I know are going to work. And that was just like a genius idea.
Well, we look at what type the venue is and what's going to work well with the venue, because we have several different styles of furniture to offer. And then we come up with a sitting area. So this way it looks good and it works good. It's very functional, but it also works good for pictures, for photography, and it also works good for another area for all the guests to get away from and be able to talk to people they hadn't seen in a long time, which is nice.
And to get away from the music.
Oh, exactly.
And just hang out and because it's weddings and funerals. It's like that's where you see people. I mean, you really do. And a wedding is a little more fun because you get cut up. It's a little more high-spirited time.
Exactly. Well, and lounge furniture is all the rave right now. Lounge furniture is a real hot item, whether it be modern or vintage, because people are so wanting that whole relaxed atmosphere also. They want to give out 3 different kind of things. So you can go in here and be where the music is happening, or you can go out here and relax and have a good time and socialize.
Right. And rentals are huge.
Rentals are huge.
I never had any idea until I was in the planning stages of Alexis's wedding about how important rentals were. And gold was the color that she wanted. And she had a vision of the tall trumpets and the candelabras and the candles everywhere. And you understood every single inch of what she was looking for.
Exactly. Well, you have to sort of have the mind of the bride and be geared to know what they're looking for, and you have to listen to them. You have to listen. I call it it's very psychological, and I'm very much the counselor in how I listen and interpret what the bride is actually saying. What does she want? How does she want it follow through? I also I want to make sure it reflects her personality when we're talking about the things. How does the props work with her venue? Is this color going to actually go good in here? Is this going to work well? But gold has been all the rage this year. I can't own enough gold.
Well, we showed pictures of the vintage furniture earlier, and now I want to show some pictures of the gold and how it was all tied in together, to create the look. So we're going to look at those pictures now on our screen. But really and truly, you are so true about the venue. All venues are different, and they're not created equal.
They are not.
One uptown might be very, very avant-garde, and you want something not classic because it's kind of, and then if you have a classic venue, it's a little different look,
more
or a
relaxed.
bride,
Yeah.
right? Or you might have a venue that's classic but very small.
Exactly.
So, you have to work within those parameters of that space.
Exactly. And two, depending on what kind of function it is, it may not just be a wedding, it may be another type of event that you may be doing. So it may be a fundraiser, maybe a party, whatever it may be. You want to make sure that those items work well with what they're doing. And
Right.
being able to have such a huge selection, we have a huge selection that we can offer everything from silver to gold to glass to black to white. Pretty much anything
in between.
and everything from big huge containers to little containers, because I'm one of those people, I get in trouble all the time because somebody will say you've got too much stuff on the table, and I'm like, you can never have too much stuff on
Right.
the table,
I
because
think
it is
not either.
right. And I
Right.
look at everything from a photography standpoint. When you look at something, how is that going to photograph? Because that's what they walk away with.
Right.
A lot of times photographers do not get the detail shots
Right.
for weddings, and so the bride, if she didn't get to see it, she didn't get an early look. She doesn't have no idea what her stuff looked before the guests have all their foods and plates and chicken bones and meatballs sitting on the table.
Right.
So it's nice to be able to give them those kind of details and for them to be able to see all that.
Well, I'm going to say I fell in love with you. Our regular caterer here that does like all of our catering little segments in the kitchen with Armin went to an event.
Yes.
And saw your arrangements on every single table, your flowers, your rentals, just from step A to Z. I fell in love with you at first glance because you were all about putting the package together in perfection.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, we have to have her. We have to have her because you kind of got the vision.
Oh yeah, you have to bring the total look together, and you have to be able to do it. And I say anybody that can start with a blank palette in any room, it's a big joke going that I can take anything and make it pretty.
Right.
And you have to be able to have that vision. It's not only looking at something about what it is, it's what it can be. And
Right.
you have to be able to do that when you go into venues and whatever the bride's venue is, to make it look right and come across as a wedding and make her have her vision, which
Right.
is sometimes very much a challenge.
And I'm going to do a little bragging on you. But you care. Like, it's not
I
just
do.
a business to
I
you.
do.
You really want each bride to have her vision come
yeah.
to fruition and feel like a princess bride for the
Exactly.
day. Because everybody is a princess for the day on
That's
that
right.
very day. And, you hear these stories about bridezillas, but maybe they just have a look that they want.
Exactly.
And some of them are bridezillas, and there's
Well,
momzillas too.
And two, it's listening. It's
Right.
a lot of it is listening to what the bride, and make sure you're a communication issue. Make sure you're understanding what that bride is saying, because a lot of times she may not know how to say, "I want something." We joke all the time, and one of the arrangement styles that we make, we call it a wad of hydrangea, and
Right.
she may not know that she wants a wad. She might think she wants something with movement to it,
Right.
So a lot of it is listening to them and seeing what they're wanting, and listening to them about their colors. I have a lot of girls, and they bring pictures in. They keep calling something because all our eyes, as far as colors go, are not exactly the same.
Right.
And we found this out this year with peach, that a lot of people were calling pink peach and pink peach.
Right.
So we were asking, okay, what do you call that color? And the same goes with style too. When girls are picking out their bouquet styles, you want to make sure that you understand what they're saying.
Right, because there's two different versions. It could be pink or it could be peach.
Everybody
and it could be a
didn't go
combination.
Everybody didn't go to floral school, and everybody don't know all the names to flowers. So we want to make sure
Right.
we're on the same page. Yeah.
Well, I just love your personality, and I love your perfection, and I love your genius skill. And I just wanted to bring you on tonight to share some of the beautiful pictures of, the event that you made the event of the century, and also for the person that you are, the kind of person that, that you work with so many girls, and you make their dreams become a reality. Everybody's a princess, and,
That's right.
and you're there. I guess, what are you?
Fairy godmother.
There you go. I do want to comment. You are the gold girl. You're
Thank
rocking
you.
the gold
Girl needs a little
tonight.
bling.
You got a lot of bling, and it's gold. It's color of
It
the
is.
season, right?
It is.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank
and
you for having me.
For being a genius, and thank you for your skills, and thank you for being such an amazing person.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Aw, Chelish Moore. She is our genius that can make any event turn into perfection, because it's all about the details, and it really is all about Chelish.
To view this entire episode or to view other past episodes, please visit our podcast site at DebraKennedyShow.com. You can view the complete episodes right on the website, or subscribe to the show via iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. Thanks for watching.
Our musical guest tonight is the amazing Mr. Jeff Brown. Take it away, Jeff.
All right. on the cell phone before you get out of bed. Why don't you strap that thing to the side of your head? You walk right by in the park. We're like passing ships in the dark. I try to get your attention but fail. You're so absorbed in your voicemail. You're so in touch. You're out of reach. I see you texting while you're driving your car. You just don't know what a hazard you are. Brain, go away. Come again some other day. Don't you think you ought to hang up and drive and focus your attention on staying alive? You're so in touch. You're out of reach. You're so connected. And I'm dejected. I stand to be corrected, but I'm feeling rejected. You're so in touch. I like you so much, but it's such an obvious crutch. I don't have your number, but it's just the same. I can't look it up, 'cause I don't know your name. What in the world am I gonna do just to have a conversation with you? But talk is another outdated thing. It's been replaced by text messaging. You're so in touch. You're out of reach. Thank you, thank you.